Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, Season 5, Episode 6 will likely become the turning point where every major alliance begins to fall apart. The strongest storyline heading into Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, Season 5, Episode 6, is Kanan's growing loyalty to Breeze instead of his mother, Rak. Since the beginning of the series, Rock has tried to protect Kanan while also manipulating his life. Their relationship reached a breaking point after the Season 4 finale, and Season 5 opens with even deeper emotional consequences following Lulu's death. Showrunner Sasha Penn has said that Lu's death was designed to remove the family's moral center and intensify the conflict between Kanan and Rock. Unlike Rock, Breeze treats Kanan as someone capable of leading rather than someone who needs to be controlled. The official Season 5 trailer emphasizes Kanan's partnership with Breeze, describing it as the alliance that launches his rise in the Queen's drug game and sets up a major reckoning. If Episode 6 follows that trajectory, Kanan may make a decisive choice to stand with Breeze on a major business move, even if it directly undermines Rake's plans. A likely scenario is that Rake asks Kanan to abandon Breeze or support the Thomas family. Instead, Kanan could reject her request and publicly back Breeze's operation. Such a decision would signal that Kanan no longer sees himself as Rock's son first. He sees himself as an independent drug boss. This would also align with Mackay Curtis's comments that Season 5 is about Kanan fully becoming the ruthless figure fans know from the original Power, with his conflict with Rock driving that transformation. Kanan has become more ruthless than ever after Lu's death. Instead of following Rak's rules, he'll continue building his own empire with Breeze. Their growing partnership should make Kanan realize he no longer needs his mother's protection. Meanwhile, Rak will discover that controlling Kanan is becoming impossible. Rather than convincing him to return home, she'll probably begin treating him like a rival. Unique is also expected to make another aggressive move. His return has already shifted the balance of power, and Episode 6 could show him manipulating both Kanan and Rock while quietly rebuilding his own organization. Marvin may find himself caught between loyalty to his sister and protecting Kanan, creating another emotional conflict within the Thomas family. One of the biggest storylines heading into Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, Season 5, Episode 6, Dark Matter, is whether Unique will fully reassert himself in the Queen's drug war. While there is no official confirmation that Episode 6 features a new war started by Unique, the season has consistently positioned him as a major threat seeking to reclaim his former power. The Season 5 premiere establishes that Unique is determined to regain his foothold in Queens after losing control of his organization. At the same time, Kanan and Breeze are expanding their own drug operation, creating a volatile power struggle among the city's biggest players. As Kanan and Breeze grow stronger, Unique has every reason to strike before they become impossible to stop. Episode 6, titled Dark Matter, arrives late in the final season, making it a logical point for the conflict to escalate. With only a handful of episodes remaining, the series is expected to move its rival factions toward direct confrontation. One of the most significant developments in Power Book 3, Raising Kanan Season 5, is the arrival of Breeze, portrayed by Shameik Moore. While there is no official confirmation that Episode 6, Dark Matter, features Breeze officially taking over as the top leader, the final season has clearly positioned him as Kanan's mentor and one of the most influential new power players. The Season 5 premiere introduces Breeze as a charismatic and strategic figure whose partnership with Kanan accelerates Kanan's transformation into the ruthless drug kingpin seen in the original Power. Mackay Curtis has explained that the final season focuses on Kanan becoming the version of the character fans already know, with Breeze playing a key role in that evolution. Unlike Rock, who has always tried to control Kanan through family loyalty, Breeze encourages him to think independently and build power through calculated decisions. Episode 6 comes late in the final season, making it a logical point for Breeze's influence to surpass everyone else's. As Kanan grows more confident, he may begin relying on Breeze's judgment instead of Rock's experience. A likely scenario is that Breeze masterminds a successful operation against a rival organization while Kanan follows his lead. Such a victory would establish Breeze as the strategic force behind their expanding empire. Official previews for the final season emphasize that Rock and Marvin are trying to rebuild their own organization while Kanan pursues his future with Breeze. That creates competing centers of power, making a direct clash increasingly likely. If Breeze consistently outmaneuvers Rock, Kanan may conclude that his future belongs with Breeze rather than the Thomas family. One of the biggest questions heading into Power Book 3, Raising Kanan Season 5 Episode 6, Dark Matter, is how far Rock is willing to go to regain control after losing both her influence over Kanan and her family's stability. While there is no official confirmation of her exact actions in Episode 6, recent episodes and the official Season 5 trailer point toward Rock making increasingly desperate and dangerous choices. The Season 5 premiere left Rock dealing with the devastating fallout from Lulu's death, a tragedy that shattered the Thomas family's unity. Showrunner Sasha Penn explained that Lou's death removed the family's heart and conscience, leaving Rack without the person who often balanced her decisions. At the same time, Kanan is becoming more independent through his partnership with Breeze, creating the greatest challenge Rack has ever faced as both a mother and a drug queenpin. Episode 6 arrives during the latter half of the final season, when the conflict between Rack and Kanan is expected to intensify. According to the official episode listing, the struggle involving Rack, Kanan, Breeze, and Stefano continues to escalate, suggesting that Rack will be forced into increasingly high-risk decisions. If Kanan refuses to return to her side, Rock may conclude that she must protect her organization before protecting her family. One possible scenario is that Rock authorizes a move against Kanan's growing operation, not necessarily because she wants to harm her son, but because she believes Breeze and Kanan's alliance threatens everything she has built. Another possibility is that Rack forms an uneasy alliance with one of her former rivals to stop Kanan and Breeze before they become too powerful. Either decision would represent one of the boldest gambles of her career and could permanently destroy any chance of repairing her relationship with Kanan. Kanan's relationship with Rack's escort was one of the most significant revelations. At last, we discover that she is a young Jarita, a name that lifelong Power fans are familiar with because she is Sean's mother. We also discover more about her private life, including her grandmother's rehabilitation and her sibling with special needs. She states that she has a bachelor's degree in psychology, but it is obvious that her circumstances have forced her to lead a different life. Kanan began assembling the parts she had been working on for Rack. Despite this knowledge, he is totally enamored with her and even makes an attempt to take her shopping, but she rejects the notion right away. Tension between Kanan and Taz escalates as he continues to develop his own business with his team selling on the corners. While Breeze sits by himself playing chess and silently watches everything, Taz reminds Kanan that he only speaks when instructed to. Breeze never wastes time, and it is evident that he is observing everyone in his immediate vicinity. Marvin and the minister had another deep discussion about whether Lou may have entered paradise. The preacher extends an invitation to Marvin to attend church after he asks how anyone can genuinely know where someone ends up after death. These sequences continue to authentically depict Marvin's personal development. While Jukebox continues to compensate the dishonest police, Rack continues to grow her company into Lower Manhattan. He makes it apparent that she still owes him money, and that failing to make another payment will have repercussions. Stefano is not interested in making amends, despite Pino's attempts to get Rock and Stefano to reconcile. Everyone is immediately reminded of the lingering animosity after their encounter, as Stefano acknowledges that he ought to have killed Rock and Lou when he had the opportunity. At last, Rock also gets to meet Breeze. He and Breeze click right away, but Breeze remains business-oriented. He clarifies that ladies and money are at the center of the hustle, and adds that women pose a threat to the game. Rock continues to closely monitor Kanan's increasing independence, making it equally evident that money is her only concern. One of the most significant outcomes of the episode is brought about by Kanan's retaliation against Rack. After forcing Rack's escort to assist him, he tricks one of Flossie's females into giving a customer tainted cocaine. The overdose kills the client, who turns out to be a federal judge. Flossie is enraged, and this is precisely the kind of conflict I anticipated when these two began together. A few reviews ago, I predicted that this alliance would eventually become ugly, and it's already coming to pass. At last, Kanan and Taz's conflict comes to a conclusion. Kanan shoots and kills Taz at the end of their altercation. Kanan later informs Breeze that he discovered Taz was never truly short on the count, and that Breeze had been testing him all along. After that, Breeze teaches Kanan how to properly make a body vanish, which is another lesson in preparing him for the future. The most unexpected part is when Breeze claims he thinks he is Kanan's half-brother since, before meeting Rak, Kanan's father had an affair with Breeze's mother. I was really unprepared for that hypothesis, and given that Kanan's father was Detective Howard, I'm still not sure why Breeze is so certain. Rock and Marvin also have a heartfelt discussion about family. Marvin assures her that she must be better than this, and reminds her that they are the only two people standing. He acknowledges that he ought to have supported Lou more, and assures Rock that he is still her big brother above everything else. It serves as yet another reminder that family is still at the core of this narrative, despite everything they have done. The episode's introduction of the three Memphis-based cowboy hitmen was its lone drawback. They were given entrance music and a slow-motion scene that seemed more like a joke than a grave danger. It brought to mind Avon Barksdale's famous entrance from The Wire, when he was scared. When one of the gunmen abruptly turns on the others after admitting he has been working with Stefano, the situation gets even stranger. In contrast to the episode's overall grounded tone, the entire sequence seemed out of place. All things considered, this was yet another fantastic Power Book 3 Raising Kanan episode that skillfully combined character growth, significant revelations, startling fatalities, and building suspense throughout each plot. The season is heading toward what should be an unforgettable conclusion, with Rock growing her kingdom, Stefano getting ready for battle, Kanan growing more vicious, and Breeze continuing to mold him.